Hello, I'm Ray Huron, and this is my first ride on the Suzuki GSX-8S.
Powered by a 776cc parallel twin engine with a 270-degree firing order. This bike conforms to Euro 5. Putting out a claimed 78 newton meters of torque at 6,800 RPM. Up front we have 43mm non-adjustable KYB inverted forks with 130mm of travel. KYB shock at the rear with spring preload only. Up front, as far as braking goes, we've got twin 310mm floating discs with 4-piston Nissan calipers. Down the rear we have a single 240mm disc with a single piston Nissan caliper. Rolling stock is by way of 17-inch alloy wheels. The front tyre is 20/70/17 and the rear tyre is 180/55/17. We've got 810mm of seat height, 202 kgs wet and 14 litres of fuel capacity. Some other acronyms that this motorcycle comes equipped with: SDMS, that's rider modes, STCS, that's traction control, and ABS, that's anti-lock brakes.
Alright, so swinging a leg over this bike, it's quite easy to straddle. It is reasonably comfortable as far as the seating position goes, and me as a fraction under 6 foot, I can get my legs on the ground really comfortably. Doesn't feel, as far as what I think of a naked sports bike, as a high seating position. Ergonomics wise, the bars are exactly where I want them to be. The levers are a perfect finger width away. They're really well set up. All the switch gear appears to be where it needs to be, and I tell you what, that TFT display is beautifully crisp and clear. The first thing you notice though when you get on this bike is just how easy it is to ride. Doesn't appear to be an element of getting used to the clutch feel or anything like that. You know, sometimes you swing a leg over a bike and it feels like you're going to stall it because you don't quite know where that clutch is going to engage, but it's a very easy clutch. The quick shifter is pretty good. As far as all the quick shifters that I've used out there, I would say this one is in the top 3 quick shifters that I've used. It works. It's not what I would call buttery smooth. It's not velvet, but it's definitely not bad. Wind protection, naked sports bike, NA. However, the engine, it's got some go. We've got 3 levels of traction control. We've got 3 levels of what Suzuki call SDMS. Suzuki Dynamic Motor stuff. It's your rider modes. We've got A, B, and C. C is what you'd call a rain mode. It's relaxed. It's neutering a little bit of that initial torque bite. But A is snappy and A goes. And this bike is no slouch. I wouldn't say it's bristling and brutal, but it's definitely not here to muck about. For somebody who's been on their full license for a number of years, but really not strayed too far north of the 650 mark, you know, the lambs category, this is pretty much exactly what I'm looking for at this point in my riding life. Something definitely not learner approved, but something not crazy 1200 big and fuel hungry. And so Suzuki, I think, have absolutely nailed the brief on the GSX-8S. It's a stonking bike. It is a fantastic bike. And that price bracket, I think, and don't quote me, I'll put the exact price up on the screen, but at circa 14k, this is a ridiculously good bargain. Who's not going to buy this? Now, looks are a little bit divisive. There seems to be a little bit of what some people call robot vomit creeping into the bike design world, especially out of the Japanese manufacturers. But the GSX-8S, I think, is the best looking bike that you can fit into the robot vomit category. It definitely looks better in person than I think photos or videos do it justice. Okay, so I've been on the bike for probably 35 minutes now. Mainly motorway cruising, nothing crazy. I've got to say, The seat is starting to feel maybe just a fraction hard. I think you'd probably smash out an hour to an hour and a half on this comfortably before you'd want to stop for a break. My knees don't feel overly bent. The pegs are pretty much straight down. It's not a horrible crunched knee position. But overall, the ergonomics on this bike are what you would expect, and I think they're right. It is a middleweight naked sports bike. It isn't a tourer. So you're probably not going to spend more than an hour, hour and a half in the seat at any one time, right? Handling of this bike, it's nimble. It's really easy to flick. It's got some nice wide bars on it. So you can really lay into the bars to tip the bike over. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up my first ride on the Suzuki GSX-8S. If you've got any questions, chuck them in the comments box below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're going to be having a few more videos on this over the next few weeks and months. Thank you very much to Suzuki for lending us the bike. And we'll catch you in the next one. Hooray!